All right, little Chucky. You gotta keep that music off. YouTube AdSense.
Nope.
Turn that off. All right, so somehow I got roped into doing this massive garage, and I brought my big camera, but I forgot the darn batteries.
Hold on, there's no somehow. This is my best friend from many years ago. There's no somehow.
I thought you didn't want to be in the video.
I'm gonna make sure we make corrections on this video.
So Charles has a new garage, so he had to get a new car to fit in it, which I can completely relate to. So we're gonna do slate gray with a white border, which I've never done before, which should be pretty cool. So this is a 3-car, well now a 4-car with the lift setup. So we're gonna work on this side first, and then we'll tackle the other side. But this is a little trickier setup in that we've got to manage the lip here, but also the lip here. And then he's going to have barn doors that close this section off. So that's going to be an interesting transition. So we're working on that. So I'm having everybody open up the boxes so we get tiles ready to go. I don't know. Yeah, it'll probably be labeled. So I'm having to open up boxes so we can find the edge pieces so that we can get started. I'm going to have to start on this corner here so that we can then carry the rest of the floor that way. And then of course this other side will be a separate section. And if you haven't seen the video of me doing OGHQ, this is the tile cutter that I bought. If you have a large area, it makes it a lot easier to cut for the edge pieces, or the edges as we cut. So here's our edge pieces. So I'm kind of laying out the border here. So we're going to start on this side so that I can both catch that edge and this edge. So hopefully we can make this work.
Old school yellow card.
All right, so we've got it set on the door. He has Charles's extra weather stripping on the bottom of the door, so I wanted to just butt it up to it. We'll have to cut the edges here to fit, but we're doing 2 rows in, and then a white border, which actually looks really good. And then we have it set up right on the edge here. So now we can just roll through getting the floor laid out, so then we can start cutting edges. All right, so we're off the lip here because of the way the door closes. We ended up needing to do, in order to get any kind of symmetry, just the way the walls are set up, we're gonna have to do a rectangular border, which I like better anyway. I think it looks better that way. So we're doing 2 tiles in the front, 2 tiles in the back, and then it'll be roughly 1.5 tiles here. All right, so here's the border. In order to get symmetry on the border, because of the way the doors and the walls and everything lines up, we ended up having to have this gap over here. We're gonna have to figure that out. What do you think, pretty girl?
The impression of this is that I would follow white lines to park, but I don't. I've parked 25 times without having lines, so.
All right.
Are you bidding this?
Huh?
Are you bidding this?
Yes. Okay. I don't know. Whatever you think.
Well, I would think common sense would be that you don't line up where you're going to park on the pole, like you put the white inside of this. But that means I have to do this, right? Take out one whole square here.
So the
white out here, right?
I would center the white. Yeah, I would center the white on the door. So I would actually carry the white along the poles.
On the post?
I would, yeah.
But it's going to be off a little bit then.
Oh.
Does that center up on the post?
All right, so I'm taking normal measurements. See it?
Here's the cut. Right here.
Yeah. So without the floor tile cutter, this takes forever. You can certainly use a table saw, but basically just take the measurement, line it up, pulls. Boom. Tile. Snaps into place. I'm really digging this. white, especially with the white trim on the exterior. Looks really good. I've never done any white tile, but we wanted to do something a little different than black, and ended up needing to do, see, the original intent was to do 2 parking spaces, but just because of the way the tile was laid out, in order to get the sections lined up on the doors, just the the distance between the 2 doors wasn't enough to make it symmetrical. And so we did what I like better anyway, which is to do the full rectangle border. Looks fantastic. And so because we did that, we have a lot more white tile. And so we're doing this closet, which will have a door on it anyway, which we really won't see in white. And the cabinets are going to go on this wall over here. So we got our border. Don't touch it. I haven't detailed it yet.
Scratch.
Don't touch it. What do you think about this, dude? Did you see? Notice how, like, I didn't even think about this, like the white trim, because you didn't have white trim before.
I wonder what?
White trim and then the white.
Why do you think I chose to do white so it matches the trim on the house?
No, you're not.
That was the game.
You're not
plan
that.
from day one. I said that from
You're
day
not
one.
that smart.
I said white for the white trim of the house, and this was always white. The white trim's been on the house since the day I bought it. Of course, that's what I thought. I was the one who said let's do white to match the white trim.
I don't remember
I
any
didn't
of
say it earlier
that.
when I was talking to the other dude.
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, of course you don't.
I'm gonna have to go drive this thing.
You are? No, you're not.
Girly automatic. Single. These don't have dual clutch, do they?
It's a slower one. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's doing stuff, but it's not like
It's
a
a
PDK.
like a Tiptronic or something.
It's a gentleman's. Which is what I want.
Yeah. So we just finished this side. Yeah, that looks awesome. Way awesome. I don't care what any of you guys say about Swisstrax. It looks so sick. I do this stuff for a reason. I think this is like the 7th or 8th floor that I've witnessed in person. Dude, look how good this looks.
Neato.
Who's that?
My dad. The new car I sold him. He used a new car. They love that thing.
It's Charles' dad.
Fantastic.
It's like cars everywhere. GTR. I got the stinky old Raptor here.
We outlined that whole section. We outlined this whole section. If you look at it, you'd have to be like, one would be here, right? So it's kind of like that.
Is there any more?
So this side would actually kind of work. Yeah, I think they just did.
Yeah, just don't step on these. You'll totally eat it.
Yeah, you'll go slide.
Say
But
what?
this side was going to be off.
You step on a tile, on the tile.
What's this for?
Cutting it.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Yeah, without that cutter, we would be like 1/10 of the way through this.
It's that nice, you know?
Well, I know a guy who sells it, so I'm not installing it though. We're gonna hire someone to do that. You can hire Charles. He's cheap.
Yeah, just Matt's the cheap one. I got
I
him
know, Matt. I know you went.
So here's all the edges. Again, the garage door closes a little differently. Normally I would bring this right up to the edge here, right here, but because of the way the doors are set up, we carried it that way. And we needed to make a sacrifice here. So what he's gonna do, which he probably will never do, is paint this section here. So we had an option. We could either carry the tile here and cut it, or make the transition. So I think it looked a lot cleaner making the transition. Right here, he's going to again put barn doors up. So this transition here, if he paints this gray, I think it'll look fantastic. And then we cut around the lift. This lift is a mobile lift, which is no longer mobile. I suggested he bolted to the ground, but he wants to keep it like this in case he ever needed to move it for whatever reason. Although it's not really moving now with the Swisstrax in the way. But man, it looks so good. Let's check it. I'll get some photos here at the end, but just the combo of, concrete, the blue house, white trim, and then the slight offset of gray. So this is slate gray, and then ivory white. I think it's called ivory white. Arctic white. But man, it looks great. So anyway, we're gonna go finish this closet over here. So we're gonna go finish this section. He's putting a leaf or a lift in for the Jeep's cover, and then I'm gonna cut all this stuff. All right, Chucky, finish it up.
11.5. What do you know?
I'm done. I'm checked out. So we're in the closet, finishing it up here. I got no more. I got nothing more. I don't know how I get roped into this crap. I used to say no one. I used to say no one ever helps me.
It's love.
But, it's just Charles never helps me.
It's love.
Go finish that.
Matt, hold on, Matt. We're having a moment.
No, don't
Is this
touch
gonna
me.
make it to the internet?
Probably not.
If I touch you, you're gonna blow a
Dude,
whistle.
just
I'm gonna go
finish
get
the
it.
tile. You want me to?
You get the tile.
You
Relax.
can't measure for squat, so that's the problem. I'm having to do everything.
Did you like square it off?
Yeah.
It's good enough.
No.
I feel like
Okay, I'll get it. Oh God.
So anyway, we're finishing up the closet here. We got 2 more pieces. This entire, or whatever, 1,000 square foot garage.
Took Matt longer than anything else. 11.5 here.
And you're gonna make 2 cuts. So just make the 1 cut and then make the other one.
I just have to
Easier.
take, I just have to make this. So I just have to take that out to make it smaller fit it work.
This is like the worst video I've ever made.
I love it. I love that I can be a part of the worst tape I've ever made.
Worst tape. So we cut the tile, most likely incorrectly. So we'll have to get, luckily we got 4 extra tiles. You got 4 shots at this.
Okay.
I give up like 2 tiles before it's done. But without this cutter, oh man, this garage would have sucked. Although, you know, cutting it with a table saw isn't too bad.
I'm gonna say it's close enough.
Let's see.
Not even close, Matt. Not even close.
Why didn't you measure?
Huh? No, I did. I just gotta take a little more off.
Oh, here we go. Now it's like,
11.5.
here, I'll do the other one so it doesn't take 10 hours.
There we go. I just want a little bit too much. Here we go. Seems like it should be more than that though.
The thing's straight. You only need 1 line.
I know. There's only 3 of these lined up. Just seems like I need more of that off.
Measure it.
I did. There's 11.5 to there. Right? I think the wall curves, that's why. So I did 11.5 off of here.
Yeah, you're good.
But look how much it's off. Like if I take that little bit off, this ain't gonna match up. Look, I barely took off a little bit.
Yeah, the wall's
Half an
moving.
inch. So what's over
So
here?
do 2 measurements.
I'm just gonna cut a little bit extra off.
I'm gonna do this side because he sucks at this. Look what happened. Boom. His still working on. Mine's done. Shows my real man. Look at this. This is the last tile.
Still off.
He's jamming in there.
I can't cut anymore off. It's that corner or something.
Yeah, you have to make 2 measurements on some. Most of this you had to measure twice, like on each corner. So, what are your final thoughts? What are your parting wisdom?
You talking to me?
Wisdoms.
It's in. Perfect. We're done.
Lord. So let's see. What time did we start this? What time is it now? We started at around. It's 5:30 now. Let's see. We started at 9:30. So 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. So 8 hours. So it's 7 hours because we went and grabbed some lunch. That's about right. I meant I was going to work for 3 or 4 hours and quit. So, you know, the white, there's a big old concrete patch there on that one. And plus, they should be putting baseboards in. So, anyway, Sabre cabinets are going to go over there. So there we go. We'll get this all cleaned up and get some final pictures. So there we go. You just need better lighting in here. Yeah, the lighting looks a lot better on camera than it does in person. It's got the same little LED strips that Adam LZ had before, but we take baby steps with Charles. He doesn't like to listen to me. Man, that looks so cool. So again, white I think is a really viable option instead of black. But that is really clean looking. Just the white outline denotes where the cars are parked. Again, if he paints this gray, that'll look great. So that gives you an idea what to do when you have a lip transition. Hopefully the symmetry works out better for you if you have a setup like that. And then the back section here. Sweet. So here's what you get. So Slate gray. Here's our border. There he is. The transition he's gonna have to paint. Still have some tiles that have to crack together, snap together. Kept the edge nice and tight all the way around the edge. This isn't Charles's Jeep. This is he traded Jeeps to somebody for the week, or for a day or two, the weekend. Man, this stuff is so awesome. Looks so good.
Wait till the doors go in.
Yeah, and then the barn doors will look cool too. Sure you don't want to put the barn doors on this side?
No, because when you put them in, you have to have the rails to slide.
Yeah.
So if I have to open them up, these walls are useless.
Yeah.
So because these are already useless because of the posts, I'm just gonna put them on this side, close it off, and be done.
Right.
And then I can still put shelving and stuff on this side. If I didn't have a lift, I could do either side, but
Right. Yeah, because it would look cooler on this side. You know, because then you'd see the.
hardware.
Yeah. Well, looks awesome. I'm really digging the white.
Yeah.
Glad we decided to do that. So there you go. Another garage semi done. Maybe I'll come back and see what the cabinets look like later. The silver, one of the silvers was on back order, so we were waiting on it for a couple of weeks. You know, 7 hours to do a 3-car garage like this with, in the beginning until I got everybody moving, me doing most of the cuts. And once you get it figured out, you can roll through it. This is a clean channel, Charles.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We don't do that kind of stuff. So there you go. Stay tuned for more, I guess more Swisstrax flooring in my life. Hopefully I'm not doing any more installs though, other than my own garage. Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.